or someone has been in a romantic relationship for a very long time. But I feel like you have tried to help this person, and it just doesn't seem like they want to know the truth, or they don't want to be honest with themselves about whether or not this friendship or relationship is a good situation. So I don't like the effect or like the outcome of dealing with this toxic person, but I'm also going to just like kind of ignore it because I'm not ready to consider my life and what it would be like without that person in it. So you may be struggling to accept or let go of a situation where you can see what's really going on, but that person impacted by it doesn't really want to be honest about it. Hello, Dracula. How you doing today? Happy Friday. Let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime chime. I hope you all are having a wonderful day so far. Again, happy Friday. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box for you, along with more information on how to get additional content as a member. And you can also find a link to my Etsy page if you're interested in a homemade soy candle. They smell good. And hold on. I just bought, I'm just going to cover the name. I just bought that. It says salted caramel. So at some point, oh, can I put this back without being a problem? At some point, I'm going to make those as well. So fingers crossed. I can't right now because it's too hot. All right, you guys. Going to have to wait just a little bit. But I think we're going to have a bunch of rain next week, so that might help. All right, let's dive in. I think we will start with the Golden Art Nouveau and see what else we've got for you. What else do we have, please? Eight of Wands, Page of Pentacles, Seven of Swords. So you are dealing with somebody who claims to want different energy or claims to want to start some new chapter. There's been multiple conversations about it, and yet they aren't being honest with you about the fact that really, I'm not going to go for that. I don't want to end that friendship. I don't want to end that relationship. I don't want to change my behavior. So it starts to become a question in your mind. How much energy am I expending on this? How much time do I spend listening to them cry about this best friend who's toxic, or, you know, whine about a partner that they can't trust? And is it distracting me from the things I need to do for myself? I have pulled 5 cards, and 3 of them are 8s. Now we have the 8 of Cups in the reverse and the 8 of Pentacles. So 8s, right? Infinity. Something just keeps going around and doing the same thing. They expect different results, but they don't change their behavior. And that's what? The definition of insanity? But then you also have to ask yourself, are you doing the same thing by trying to help a person who doesn't actually want things to change? If you include the first 2 cards that I've pulled, I had the 8 of Swords up there as well. So that's all of the 8s in the tarot deck when I had pulled a total of 7 cards. Now we have the Empress. So the question is, how long do you continue to, I guess, be there and say the same thing, but, you know, it falls on deaf ears? Empress, 7 of Cups in the reverse, and the Devil in the reverse. You see what needs to happen clear as day. You have perhaps gone through a very similar situation or dealt with a very similar partner. But you also have the ability to recognize when somebody is just like listening but not interested in making the changes. So you come through as the Empress in large part because you want to see this person be happy. You want this person to be able to elevate their situation above that toxic energy that they're dealing with. because you have been through something similar. Maybe it's your brother or sister. Maybe it's a coworker. But when it comes to actually taking the action to have a more loving situation, they aren't making that change. So are you going to continue to have this same conversation without a change, or are you considering whether or not this person should still be in your inner circle? Some of you may decide you need to take a little bit of a time to yourself kind of thing. Some of you may decide if you're going to continue to deal with that person, then I probably can't continue to deal with you. Justice and the Six of Swords. I might need to distance myself if you're going to continue to put yourself in harm's way or in that situation, and then you want to like come cry about it. Gotta be willing to make a change every now and then, right? Three of Swords in the reverse. So do you want to heal this, or do you want to just, you know, continue dealing with it? Welcome back, Flower. How we doing? That's fair. What do we have as far as love? Give me some love and ego boost. I got you. So, bike instructor and Lucas. Oh, and A. I got you. Thank you, Flower. I think it's entirely likely, but we shall see what comes through. All right, let's get a few from the Stained Glass Tarot. Oops, if I can get it off the shelf. Almost. I missed one. All right, what else do we have? Oh, you're so welcome, Flower. And in case you're curious, we are 7.5 minutes in. So probably about 28 minutes or so. All right, what else do we have? Seven of Swords in the reverse. Two of Cups in the reverse. And the Page of Wands. I think a lot of people have been in this situation where you want the best for someone. I feel like this is a friend. It could be, like I said, a coworker or a family member, right? Like your brother or sister. You want them to be happy, but you also know at a certain point it's their own decision, and they may be kind of like signing up for this trouble or this chaos. So this Page of Wands, this is the communication that you've had, but also you analyzing the situation. Sometimes, like, what's that saying? Measure twice, cut once. Sometimes we see the desire for someone to have a changed situation longer than we actually should before we have that realization of, oh, you know what? I think they're actually not necessarily being honest with themselves about what they're willing to accept from that person. Maybe they're complaining, but unwilling to take any action about that which is causing them to claim, right? Or complain, excuse me. You're funny, Flower. Hello, D30. How are you doing? I don't know what you're saying. Would you like to try that again? Go ahead, D30, try that again. My name is Carmen, okay? So we've got Judgment in the reverse and Justice. I know what the decision is that I'm supposed to make, and we have Justice clarifying justice. But I don't actually want to do it the way that you tell me. I don't want to actually, you know, leave a person who's unwilling to do right by me. I don't want to actually keep those boundaries in place, even though that might be the ticket to having some improvement in our friendship or our relationship. I don't want to do the difficult part. I just want things to get easier. But sometimes the way that you get the situation to improve is by walking away. Whether that is you walking away from, a person who's content to stay in a toxic relationship, or the person you want to see be happy, walking away from that relationship. Again, we have the Empress energy, so I do feel like you provide a very loving and like caretaking energy to this person that you want to see be happier. But with the Five of Wands in the reverse, you're chewing on this. Like, I don't know, man. It kind of feels like you're content to just deal with that problem and not make any changes. Hello, Stan. Welcome to the live chat and happy Friday. If you would like me to add your question to the list, you can put it in a super chat and you will be added. We have the World in the reverse. The Hanged Man in the reverse, refusing to see a new perspective, seeing things differently than they actually are. This person needs a reality check, but I feel like you give them a reality check a lot and they're still stuck in that hamster wheel. They're not interested in actually making those changes. I feel like this is something that plays out on a lot of those like reality television shows out there, and probably for good reason, right? It makes for good TV when you have toxic energy. So we have repetitive, kind of immature behavior here. But you're starting to wonder, is this getting to a point where it's impacting my ability to have a calm situation for myself? Is that toxicity starting to impact me? Two of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. Are they just straight up ignoring the advice or their own intuition that would enable them to have a more like stable or happy situation? Are they like embracing the toxic energy there? Hello, Shreya. How are you doing? Hello, Carrie. Happy Friday. I can add that for you, Shreya, if you could pop your question into a super chat. You can also donate a membership for someone else in the live chat, and I will add you to the list. And those questions happen after the general reading in about 20 minutes. Ace of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. Because for this individual, your friend or your coworker, whoever it is, it's more important that they have the relationship. They don't want to lose it. So they're not actually like having the difficult conversations. They're not actually telling this person, I'm comfortable with leaving if you do not want to make any changes. All right, this is the Visconti Sforza. What else do we have? Also, you said it's like number 13. I have 12 likes. I think that's kind of amusing. What else do we have? The Hierophant in the reverse. And the Four of Swords. If you want to make the situation better, then I think you know what needs to happen is a change in your relationship status. If that person is not willing to be kind to you, if that person is not willing to do right by you, even after you tell them what you need from that person, then there should be consequences, right? If you tell a potential employer that you need to make $60,000 or more in order to leave your current job, and they say, well, we could give you like 50, are you going to be like, okay, let's do it? No, because you know what your minimum requirements are. Whoever you're dealing with, they are not willing to actually implement any consequences because to them it's more important that they be in a relationship. So you are asking yourself, do I need to just tell them I'm not here to talk to you about this because you're just repeating the same issues over and over again? Maybe for some of you, this is your own relationship, but I feel like this is You're feeling guilty because you want to be there for someone. You want to be that Queen of Cups energy, a good friend. You come out as the Empress, so I feel like you've gotten through some difficult things yourself and you can see things a little bit more clearly than this friend of yours. But they're over here ignoring what could actually help them in terms of smoother like experiences or a happier connection. They're willing to just like deal with being unhappy as long as they can continue to complain to you about it. I wouldn't blame you for getting frustrated dealing with that over and over again, but no change. Hello, Nat Nat. Happy Friday. How are you doing today? Thank you, Nat Nat. That was a little creepy. Kenny, not the best way for you to ask the question, but the answer is yes. It all depends on intentions. So just like you would probably be very discerning with who you would pay to build a deck on the back of your house, so too should you be discerning about who you trust to pull cards for you, right? Yes. They don't want to be saved, basically. So we've got the Ace of Cups in the reverse. And we've got the Three of Pentacles in the reverse also. It kind of looks like basically we've got somebody saying, I am struggling to be a good friend because I feel like we only ever talk about your dysfunctional relationship. It doesn't seem like you're actually interested in improving or like talking to your partner about what needs to change or implementing like consequences if they decide not to change. It is impacting my ability to sleep or my ability to move forward. So I need to basically get some distance if it's only ever going to be an overflow of toxicity from your existing relationship. I think that's fine. It's difficult and you may feel guilty because you want to be there for that person. But if they're just content to lay in a puddle of poo, do you really have to smell it? They really expect you to just like, you know, hug them and comfort them and like join them and sit in the puddle of poo? Probably not, or they shouldn't. So they're going through this problem without actually addressing the problem and constantly asking you to assist them out of that without actually making any changes. So your intuition is telling you maybe it's time to move forward. This actually says infinity on it. Remember, we had multiple 8s at the beginning. I do feel like this is saying it's just an ongoing pattern. This person isn't going to change, neither is their partner. So then I guess it means you have to be the one to change, right? Hello, how's it going? Margarita? Margarita? I probably said that wrong. My apologies. Ah, yes. That makes sense. And thank you for liking and subscribing. I appreciate it. So we've got offer on the table and searching. You may have a new job offer. You may have an opportunity to move. We did have the 6 of Swords come through. I feel like you have a chance to get away from this kind of crazy energy. And it comes on the heels of this friend of yours having an opportunity to move, but they don't. They stay in the same situation. So if you get a job offer or if you get accepted to a school elsewhere or you find a great deal on like your dream home, or maybe you even get a love offer and it involves moving away. For some of you, you're looking at it like, man, I feel a little bit guilty because I know you need somebody to help you, but you're also refusing to make any of those changes. Should I actually move away, or will I be feeling guilty for, you know, leaving you to that issue? Thanks for telling us about your current breakfast, DB. Hello, happy Friday, Aveda. How are you doing? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see that one. We've got lockbox, closed in, trapped, frustrated. This is telling you to take that opportunity. It may seem harsh, it may seem like you are being a bad friend, but if they are not willing to make a change and you have an opportunity to go somewhere else, get some new energy, some fresh air, then go for it. I say do it. For some of you, what I'm seeing is you have a cohabitation with a sibling or a friend, and this person's toxic energy, their toxic relationship is hard for you to avoid because you live with them. So the question is, how much longer do you want to be involved in that situation? How much longer do you want to put up with that rather difficult energy? I think you have a great opportunity to live somewhere else or work somewhere else. And it gives you a little bit of distance between this toxic relationship and you. Happy 4th Slido. I hope you're having a good one. Hello, Billy. I do personal questions after the general reading with priority to those who tip or donate. You can also gift a membership to someone else if you like, Billy. Hello, Jamaica. How are you doing? Six of Cups again. This is someone you've known for a long time, but they're throwing off your energy. Temperance in the reverse. That's the one I got excited about in the unboxing. That's Catherine of Aragon. You have the ability to start over or cleanse that palette. And I feel like for a lot of you, it's changing where you live. Two of Coins, the Two of Pentacles, and the Queen of Swords. It enables you to establish some distance or maybe even, gain some distance and not have to be so involved with somebody's toxic relationship. They might have to figure this one out on their own because they have refused to listen to your counsel. They don't want to take seriously that maybe the right answer is for them to break up with this person. So now the question is, do you feel comfortable walking away? Do you feel comfortable starting a new chapter further away from this person? And you come through as the Magician, someone who's very capable. Magician and the Empress. So I say go for the new job, go for the new living situation. You can still pick up your friendship perhaps later down the line, but this is someone who is swimming in toxic energy willfully. But you feel a little guilty. You feel like you need to be there for them. I get it, but they're ignoring it. They're rejecting it. Thank you, Nat Nat. King of Pence. In my circle now. I've added that for you. Thank you, Nat Nat. Hey, Margarita, that's not what my gift is for, but if you don't trust it, that's fine. No problem. It's like if somebody were to ask me to make a prediction on the winning lottery numbers. That's not what this is about. It's about spiritual growth, right? So if you don't believe, that's okay. Hello, Chad. How are you doing today? Happy Friday. I would maybe just adjust the comparison I made earlier where you want to make sure that you're discerning whenever you pay someone to do something for you, whether it's watching your child, building a deck on your house, or pulling cards for you. It all boils down to intention and integrity. Is this somebody who is operating with the right, motivations? So we've got the World in the reverse, the Star, and another 8, the 8 of Wands. I love this 8 of Wands. Isn't that pretty? You have a lot of things that are moving in the right direction for you, but it requires you to acknowledge that maybe you're not in the right location anymore. Maybe you need to move on. Maybe it's time to follow a different path, and that path is going to create some distance. Maybe you've been roommates with this person for a long time. Maybe you've been best friends with them for a long time, but a different place is calling to you. Different energy is calling to you. And I feel like you're being encouraged to decline something that would be a really great chance for you to spread your wings. Page of Cups in the reverse, Six of Wands in the reverse. If you listen to this friend who doesn't want you to take the opportunity, it ends up being a major source of resentment or regret. So I would encourage you to take that opportunity. Let's see. This is the Transformational Tarot. Hold on. I can't get them all. There we go. What else do we have, please? Four of Pentacles. Yeah, so this friend wants you to stay. They don't want you to take this job offer, or they don't want you to move away. And it's for selfish reasons. You're like their stuffed animal. They go to you for comfort, even though they continue to make the same mistakes. The problem is, I think if they were truly interested in you being happy, they would see that this is a good thing for you. They might be a little bit less mature than you would like to think they are. So leverage your intuition. Find a way to move forward. Because with the Seven of Pentacles, this is saying there's a bit of a stop sign here. You have invested a lot in this person. You care about them deeply. You have tried to show them where the life preserver is, and they're like, no, it's fine. I'll just stay here drowning a little bit longer. They don't want to make a change. So when you go to make a change, they get a little bit nervous about it. This is interesting because we have a fairly normal depiction of the Ace of Pentacles here, but there's also somebody offering something kind of small right in front of that Ace of Pentacles. It's like, I want you to ignore this major opportunity and instead continue to accept very small pittance, right? They want you to be okay with very minimal effort, or, you know, less than awesome energy when you have a chance to move forward. So are you going to take that opportunity, even if it means that you'll be at a distance from this friend? It might be when you are not there that this person finally realizes how much they need to change. It might be your loving Empress energy that enables them to continue to put up with that toxic energy from someone else. What if your leaving is what finally gets them to realize that they also need to leave that situation behind? You might inspire them. So it's difficult. Whoever I'm reading, you have this opportunity, but it makes you feel like you're being a bad friend if you take it. Three of Cups in the reverse. Will they be all right without me? Maybe this is when they need to, you know, take the training wheels off. Maybe you are their training wheels and they've gotten a little too comfortable and they need to actually figure it out on their own. I believe it, Matt, and happy Friday. Oh, flower, that's a really a long list. I don't know how to answer that because there's so many of them. But one of my favorites would be tiger's eye. This would be a blue tiger's eye. It doesn't really look like it's blue, but you know, that's the name. And this is, I believe, a raw red tiger's eye. Just kind of depends. Ooh, and then this would be like a regular tiger's eye. All right, so we've also got the Nine of Cups and the Teacher Student of Pentacles. You have taught this person as much as you can, but it gets to a point where they need to be able to take that test on their own. They need to be able to, you know, do their own thing. So I feel like this is saying your time is approaching. You need to move in your own direction or go do your own thing. And this person's going to have to be their own person. They're going to have to make their own decision. So we have Transcendent Mind and the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. It may feel like a loss to this person initially, but it is what they need to be able to move forward. It is what they need to be able to see things differently and not be so dependent upon you and unwilling to ask for what they deserve from the other person. This is the Poe Tarot. Yes, one day at a time. Sending you healing, Matt. What else do we have? And for this one, this is just a rock that was hit by lightning, I believe. I don't know what kind, though. We've got Eight of Quills or Eight of Swords and the Sun. Arousing from the most profound of slumbers, we break the gossamer web of some dream. Sometimes you have to wake up. Sometimes you need a reality check. I feel like you are already aware of that reality, but your departure is the reality check that your friend or your sibling needs. The Sun. That's how they get enlightened. They who dream by day are cognizant of many things which escape those who dream only by night. If you are an Empress, and that's how you came out a few times, I believe you have insights that others may miss. Just as the day dawns to the friendless and houseless beggar who roams the streets throughout the long, desolate winter night, just so tardily, just so warily, just so cheerily came back the light of the soul to me. When you walk away and enable this person to make their own decisions, that's when they finally get it. But because you are their training wheels, they are not as confident and much more hesitant when it comes to finally doing what they need to do. You make it tolerable so that they don't realize that they're actually uncomfortable and need to go a different way. This is the Love Oracle. What else do we have, please? Realizations, epiphanies, understandings, awakenings, escaping, avoiding, blocking, pushing away. So they're avoiding this realization because you make life more tolerable for them. When you get your distance, when you choose to take this new path or live somewhere else, they start to realize that they have basically just kind of glossed over this relationship that they're in, made something toxic seem like it's beautiful because they are so like eager to have a meaningful connection with someone. This meant that they didn't realize how clingy they were or how unwilling they were to see the reality of the situation. Oh, that's so nice of you, Nat. Matt, you let me know if that's all right. Hello, Will. How are you doing? Bonjour. How's New Zealand doing? What else do we have, please? Sorrow, loss, grief, and depression. Yes, there is a difficult part of the cycle that faces probably you and this person. But when you choose a new path, you make it easier for them to realize that that's what they need to do for themselves as well. Otherwise, this is somebody who has been trying to focus on the wrong elements of life, maybe even partying a little bit to disassociate or ignore the frustrations they're dealing with. But when you choose a different path, when you move away or when you follow this new job opportunity, they can see what it was that you were trying to explain to them. And I feel like they end up apologizing for putting you in such a toxic environment or making you deal with their problems that they were not willing to deal with themselves. It's like if someone were to come over to your place and make a giant mess and make zero effort to clean up after it, right? That's what this person has been doing with regards to your friendship and your advice, because they were so caught up in trying to be in a connection with someone or feeling like they had their soulmate. You walk away and they start to realize that they've had the wrong impression all along. All right, it's time to start those personal questions. Matt, let me know if you would like me to do that card pull for you from Nat. Otherwise, we're going to start with Flower's question or questions. We're going to go with the Dragon's Tarot. Hello, Trey. How are you doing today? Happy Friday. So what can we offer to Flower with regards to a love message / ego boost? The Empress is a good way to start. And the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Swords. Yes, you intimidate a few people. There are 2 people here who are nervous around you and feel like you have boundaries that are a little bit foreign to them. Like, I don't really know how to deal with this. I'm used to people who don't know themselves. So with this 5 of Swords, there are people here who get clumsy around you. There are people who feel like they look like an idiot around you. So even though you may sometimes feel like you don't have your ish together, there are 2 people here who feel like they pretty consistently make a fool out of themselves. And you seem to have everything figured out. We have the Hierophant in the reverse and the 10 of Cups in the reverse. These are people who are afraid to get into a relationship with you because they feel like you would crack that whip. I like it, Flower. Yes. Hello, Gracie. How are you doing? Let me add that for you. Gossip around the public page. I'm adding that for you. Thank you, Gracie. Hello, spiritual healer. How are you doing? All right, and so is one of these people that are intimidated by a flower? Yes. And we even have Temperance coming through. This is someone who feels like you are an earth angel or a siren. Wow, and we also have the Queen of Cups. So A has this sneaking suspicion that you are the type of love that people view as the one that got away. I have to be a little bit cautious here. So here's the Temperance card. There's something about you that is very alluring. You brighten people's days, but there's also this feeling, sorry, she's naked, so I have to cover it. There's this feeling that people get obsessed with you. So A is a little bit disconcerted or a little bit standoffish because it's like playing with fire, Dragons cards, right? So we have the Knight of Wands in the reverse and Judgment in the reverse. So I feel like if I were to try to just have like physical intimacy, I would fall in love and then I would be in trouble. So this person's like literally like looking around like, is there a hot pad designed for flowers so that I don't burn my hands? Is there advice? Like, who can help me make sure that I don't like completely lose my mind? What about bike instructor? Is this one of the 2? No. Bike instructor is a little aloof, a little bit different. But this is someone who feels like they can control the interaction with you. So there's a little bit more confidence here, but there's still a strong physical attraction. Ace of Wands. It's a bit of a phallic card, okay, you guys? I don't make the rules. So bike instructor is trying to play chess. Bike instructor feels very capable, but with the Seven of Pentacles, it's a little bit of hubris. It's a little bit of arrogance. This is someone who may be a little bit humbled by their interactions with you, but going into it, it's like, no, I got this. This is fine. And what about Lucas? Is he one of the two that is intimidated by Flower? Yes. So it would be A and Lucas. For Lucas, we have the King of Swords. This could be someone who's a little bit too analytical when they approach matters of the heart. We also have Ten of Swords. So this is the kind of person, Lucas is the kind of person who starts to feel feelings and then decides, oh, maybe I should like walk away. Maybe I should let go. I don't want to get overly involved or overly like dependent on somebody. And then they end up getting obsessed with people. So maybe it's because Lucas knows himself and knows that there's a tendency to get fixated on somebody. There could be a tendency to be codependent or, like I said, just get kind of like obsessed with somebody. A lot of fire energy with this one because we had the Devil, which technically is earth energy, but because of the dragons, we got a lot of red going on. But then we have the King of Wands. So I do feel like there is some issues here in terms of controlling physical attraction or that need for physical intimacy. But there's also a desire to kind of like hold back the emotional side, to move on quickly before feelings take root. Hello, Dee. How are you doing? Feel free to add that to a super chat if you want me to add it to the list. Hello, Sanket. How are you doing? All right. I hope that is helpful. Flower, and know that we love you and we want everything to go very well for you. Sending you a big hug. All right, let's see what we've got for Nat. And did we hear, what do we want? We're gonna go with the pause tarot. Did we hear from Matt or has he left the building? For Nat, is the King of Pentacles already in Nat's circle? Yes, but I feel like kind of on the outskirts. This is not someone who is attention seeking. This is someone who has a rather calm demeanor. More earth energy with the Queen of Pentacles coming out. Then we have the Page of Swords and the Hanged Man. So this is someone who has a difference of opinion. In other words, they're not always on board with how other people in the social situation talk or how they approach things. So they tend to hang back or be a little bit quieter, right? Hey, Suncat, we're not about that. Maybe you're asking Flower and Flower can make her own decision, but you realize this is like a public forum, so then if she tells you what her Snap or IG is, then like anybody who watches my channel could get that. That's a little concerning privacy-wise, right? Right. What else for Nat and the King of Pentacles, please? We have the Tower in the reverse and Strength. So even though maybe a younger version of this King of Pentacles would have gotten into some scuffles or some arguments with people, they have this amazing sense of control and calm where they don't get involved when they disagree with other people because they can pick up rather quickly on when somebody is unwilling to change their opinion or too rooted, right? This is not a dating app, Sankat. This is not a dating app. If you want to get to know pretty ladies, go on a dating app, okay? Yes, exactly. Is that because you are embarrassed? It's okay. There are so many ways on the internet to meet somebody, but this is not one of them, okay? I want people to date, don't get me wrong, but don't ask for people's stuff on here because that's like concerning, okay? Oh, it's not? Look, if you were to put your phone number in the live chat, I would delete it because I want to like respect your privacy, okay? You don't know who's out there. You don't know who's spying. So net, we have the Chariot in the reverse and the Empress. This King of Pentacles doesn't feel like there is an obvious route to you, even though this person is very interested or attracted to you. It's giving, I'm waiting for the right moment. Maybe there needs to be some dust settled, or maybe there's too much going on right now. But this King of Pentacles feels like it's not a green light yet, right? It's not the right time. So I'm going to sit and I'm going to admire from afar and think about what could potentially happen, right? Sandcat, learn how to be respectful. You will not have a relationship with someone who respects you if you fail to understand how to show respect to others, okay? So, net, we have the Four of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so this King of Pentacles feels like there's more healing that has yet to be done, perhaps specifically on your side, because of this Three of Swords. So if you are still processing something from your past, this King of Pentacles wants to allow time for that. Is this King of Pentacles also healing from something themselves? Yes. We got the Nine of Wands. So this is, the Ten of Wands would be like completion, right? So I'm mopping up the floor. It's looking pretty shiny, but we still have like, you know, under the cupboards where all the crumbs collect. So I need to get that done, and then I'm ready to make an offer in love. We're not quite there. Matt, let me know if you want me to pull a few cards for you. Nat did a donation for you. So it is up to you. But Nat, we are rooting for you. And no pressure, Matt, but you would be up next. So tell me your answer. Otherwise, I can do Gracie's real quick. You're welcome. So I'm going to do Gracie's real quick, and then Matt, you let me know. What is the gossip on people that are looking at Gracie's public page, please? I'm hearing Kanye's flashing lights, and we have the Star, and then we have the Emperor in the reverse. I feel like there's someone here who has kind of got stars in their eyes. So is this like somebody who's attracted to Gracie? Yeah, we have someone who's attracted to you. But does this person feel like they need to keep it quiet? Oh, there's two people who are talking about finding you attractive or liking a recent post of yours. Do they feel like they have to keep this quiet from someone else? Yes, that's what I thought. This is two people who are talking about finding you attractive, knowing that if a third person were to find out about it, they would be very upset. Is this person that they're hiding it from, Jay? No. I feel like it's somebody close to Jay. But there is a little bit of tea with people who are interested in you but feel like they don't have the ability to actually do anything about that. So there's competitive energy here, feeling like, oh, like I could save her, you know? Oh, I would date her. But I can't say anything too loud because that person over there, they would be mad. All right, sounds good, Matt. Hello. Should I say Sadaf? How are you doing? Hello. Jamar? I don't know if I said that right. Sounds good. Hello, Locks. I suppose it depends on your definition. Good intention, right? Oh, well, congratulations on that, Sadaf. So, Gracie, there's people here who feel like if they were to talk about how they like your posts or they find you attractive, they would be in hot water or someone would be angry with them. What else besides some thirst? And then we also have somebody saying, I'm not interested, but everybody knows they're lying. That's funny. Like, no, I don't want to know what's going on, but also, like, tell me more. Show me that picture again. Oh, no, I don't care. I don't want to know anything about, nope, I'm good. I don't need anything about Gracie. It's fine. Wait, tell me, will you show that again? Somebody here who's not doing a great job of pretending like they don't care what's going on your page. All right, let's see what we've got for Matt. We're going to go with the Royal Fez, the Moroccan Tarot. Sorry, I dropped it. Good. All right, what is it that Matt needs to know, please? Hey, Hidden Frames, are you okay? Are you okay? If you click on somebody's like profile picture, you can see what their channel is about, or you could like watch, but you get very demanding. It's Friday. Let's have a good time. I'm doing personal questions for folks, pulling cards for them. But yeah, we're trying to chill, you know? No need to be angry. What does Matt need to know, please? Three of Cups in the reverse, Ace of Pentacles, the Hierophant, and the Page of Swords. There's good news coming your way. Right now, it's like, yes, you need a little bit of time to yourself. With the Three of Cups in the reverse, you may feel like you're not getting the support you need from people, or you may feel like you just need to have some time to yourself. Totally understandable. But there's going to be some offer that comes in for you. Is this about job? No. Is this about friendship? Yes. You are about to encounter somebody who understands you better than the rest. This could be a mentor, somebody who does what you do for work or knows maybe more extensively what the other like potential paths are. Or this could be somebody who also has a very like they travel a lot. Maybe you start talking to them because you like to game or they're on the radio. But I feel like there's someone here who's going to understand how you feel, and it gives you a sense of comfort. This is a close friend or confidant, possibly, like I said, could be somebody who also does what you do. But I do feel very strongly that they travel. You might meet them on your travels. Tell me more. Oh, that's so kind of you, Flower. Hello, Luke. How are you doing today? Very kind of you. Oops. So we've got the Six of Wands in the reverse. This person has had a recent feeling of failure, but they're getting into a better situation, and they've learned from their past. So they're like ascending the escalator, right? Feeling like they've gotten out of something difficult. And they have advice for you. You have this intuition that's going to be confirmed by this new friend. Thank you, Lox. I appreciate that. So we have the Three of Wands and the Queen of Wands. You have manifestation powers. I don't know if you know this, Matt. I would hope you do. But good things come in threes. I think they say maybe also the bad things. This is just the beginning. There's multiple positive things coming your way, and I need you to know how powerful your ability to draw them in. That's part of the reason why we have the moon and this Queen of Wands. So what I need you to do, your homework or your mission, should you choose to accept it, is I need you to be more frequently saying, I will, or I have, or I am, as opposed to I want, I need, or could it possibly be? There needs to be more definitiveness. And I feel like you've already started doing that, but there's more to come. There's more waiting for you. Exactly. You are the magician. And we got the strength card. So make sure that you are giving yourself credit for your power, your strength. All right. I'm going to leave it there. I love you all. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. You're so welcome, Flower. Big hugs to you all. Happy Friday. Be safe this weekend.